So, morning, dear students. Yesterday we were completed motional AMF in the case of a rod, rotating rod in the magnetic field. Today we are going to discussing induced AMF in a rotating wheel in the magnetic field. Okay. So for that we are considering a magnetic field. Consider a magnetic field of induction P bar. In that field, we are placing a wheel. Okay, it is a wheel having number of spokes. Number of spokes. See here, these are the spokes. The wheel having the radius of R. The center of the wheel is O. And this wheel is rotating about its center with angular velocity omega in clockwise direction. So, while it rotating, what is the magnetic, induced EMF in that wheel across central point and a ring. This is called a ring, and it is called the center of the wheel. So, here we want to find out the potential difference between center and a ring. Okay, center and a ring. Here, a number of spokes are there. Each spoke having the length of R. Each spoke having the length of R. Then, each spoke will act as a rod, whichever rotating about its one of the end. Yesterday already we have seen that when a rod is rotating about one of its end, the EMF induced across its ends is what? B omega R square by 2. So like that, for each and every spoke, the EMF induced here across its ends is what here? B omega R square by 2. While it's rotating in clockwise direction, which point at high potential, which point at low potential in center and a ring. See, for example, if you take this rod or this spoke, it's having the velocity in this direction. Then if you apply the palm rule, ring is at high potential and the center is at a low potential. Similarly, this one also. So, the ends of the spokes in contact with the ring are at high potential, and the ends of the spokes which are in contact with the center are at a low potential. By that here, if you take that wheel here, each spoke acts as what here? One battery, such that here anode is there, here cathode is there. So here anode, here cathode, and anode, cathode, anode, cathode, anode, cathode. What is the potential difference here? This mean what here? V potential on the ring, that is potential on the ring minus potential at the center is equal to B omega R square by 2. That's the meaning of this. So here all the cells are directly connected. This is a direct connection here, with a wire. By that, the potential value will be same at all these points. If you let the potential here as 0, what is the potential here? B omega R square by 2. Here also B omega R square by 2. Here B omega R square by 2. Like that, every point on the ring are at potential of b omega r square by 2. Such that if you taken these 2 points, so called center and a ring point, it is a ring, it is center. See here, what is its cell? This cell is in between what and what? O and b r omega square. So here potential you know well, b r omega square, sorry, b omega r square by 2. B omega r square by 2. Here potential what? 0. This cell is in between these 2 points. Second one also is in between these 2. Third one is in between these 2. Fourth one is also in between these 2. Like that, all the cells are in parallel. These are all said in parallel combination. You know well, in the parallel combination, the potential difference across all the cells will be same. By that, the net potential difference between this junction and this junction is how much here? 0 and omega, b omega r square by 2 difference what here? B omega r square by 2 only. So by that, here net EMF for all these cells is equal to b omega r square by 2. So it is the net potential difference across a ring point and a center point, that's value b omega r square by 2. Okay, so with that this topic over. Induced EMF in a rotating wheel in the magnetic field was completed. Okay, next similarly another topic is there. What is that? It's connected or linked to this, by that I am continuing here only. Induced EMF in a rotating disc in the magnetic field. In the magnetic field. First of all, what is a disc? Disc nothing but a wheel. A disc nothing but a wheel with infinite number of spokes. With an infinite number of spokes. Because if you take a disc, it's having spokes of infinite number without any gap. If you take a wheel here with infinite number of spokes, then this is called a disc. A disc nothing but what here? Infinite number of spokes are presented in this. Okay. Such a object is called what? A disc. What we call it? A disc. So here it is a disc mark. Infinite number of spokes are there without any gap. Its radius is r and it's rotating in the magnetic field of induction d bar with angular velocity omega. Then what is the induced EMF across its center and the ring? Same answer, this only. Because here actually if you consider a wheel, there are finite number of cells here. The number of cells are finite. But here same kind of cells, there are infinite number. All are in parallel again. By that, the induced EMF across the center and the rim of the disc is equivalent to the same answer what you obtained for wheel. Obtained for wheel. By that, in this case, E center ring induced EMF equal to V ring minus V center, that's value V omega R square by 2. Small r is the radius. Okay. So with that, induced EMF in a rotating disc also completed. It's a linked one to this. So by that, we can write that answer directly. We can write that answer directly. Okay. So with that, induced EMF in a rotating magnetic field and its related problems complete. One problem I am going to tell you. Let's see that. So example problem, there is an infinite current carrying conductor. From this, at a distance of a rod is placed here. It's rotating about this axis with angular velocity omega. So length is L. What is the length of that? L. Now we want to get induced EMF across this rod. Whenever this rod is having the length L and it's while rotating like this. What is the induced EMF across the rod? So question is, find induced EMF across the rotating rod. How to solve it mean? It is a hinge point, about that rod is rotating. So now from this hinge point I am taking small element because B is variable here. Here B is variable. By that, we are taking small element on the rod at a distance of x, that's the length is dx. Now first of all you write the B value at this point. What is the B value here? B equal to mu naught I by 2 pi a plus x. So if you treated it as a small rod moving with velocity, what is the velocity of the small element? It is the element of length dx. Total length L. It is at a distance of x and rotating with angular velocity omega. Then its velocity what here? X omega. What is the linear velocity? X omega, because it is rotating like this. So what is the linear velocity of this element? X omega. Then what is the induced EMF across its ends? So the induced EMF equal to formula what? BLV. So accordingly BLV. LV. B mean what here? X omega. What is B value? Mu naught I by 2 pi into a plus x into omega into x into dx. It is the induced EMF across the small element, for small element. Then for total rod, what about induced EMF integral? What is constant here? Mu naught I omega by 2 pi integral x by a plus x dx. What are the limits? X limits are 0 to L. What are the x limits here? 0 to L. Now you have to integrate it with the form method. This what I am suggesting you. Do this at home. you have to subtract and add and subtract with a. Then we are getting this a plus x minus a divided by a plus x into dx. Numerator I have added and subtracted with a. By that what I will get here? Mu naught I omega mu naught I omega by 2 pi integral 0 to L 1 minus a plus x by a plus x 1 minus a by a plus x into dx. So what we will get here? Mu naught I omega by 2 pi integral dx mean x with the limits of 0 to L minus what about it is integration a into ln of a plus x. What are the limits? 0 to L. Okay. So what we will get here? Mu naught I omega by 2 pi L minus 0 minus a into ln a plus L minus ln a. Okay. Ln a. So we are getting finally mu naught I omega by 2 pi L minus a into ln of a plus L by a. It is the induced EMF across the rod. Induced EMF across this rod. Okay. So with that induced EMF across rotating rod was completed. Now next we are going to discussing induced electric field due to varying magnetic field. Okay, induced electric field due to varying magnetic field, that we are going to see. Please enter this problem. So the next topic, induced electric field due to varying magnetic field. You know well, whenever magnetic field is varying, there is induction of EMF. Okay. Whenever the magnetic flux linked with a coil is varying, induced EMF will be there. But here now, in that space, at anywhere, whenever magnetic field is induced, their electric field will, whenever magnetic field is varying, then electric field will induce. Okay. Even in the space or in the coil which are placed in the varying magnetic field. For example, if you consider a magnetic field of induction V bar, that matter variable magnetic field it is. For example, B is increasing. B increasing mean what here? In this one, if you have placed a coil, according to Faraday law, There is induction of EMF in this coil such that the induced current is opposing the growth of B, right? So for that, B induced in outward direction here such that current flowing in this in anti-clockwise direction. This is called induced current. What we call it induced current. But you know one thing, whenever current flowing in a conductor, that means inside the conductor free electrons are moving. What are moving? Free electrons are moving. For example, if you have a rod and if you want to send the current through this rod, metal rod, simple metal rod, I would like to send the current through this. Actually it is good conductor. Good conductor means what? Already I told you once. It consisted of free electrons. What it consisted of? Free electrons. That electrons are this. And whenever it consisted of free electrons, then only the conductivity is possible. That means electricity can flow through that. But if you don't have free electrons, no flow of current takes place inside the conductor, then that conductor is called insulator. Anyhow, free electrons are there, but are they moving now? No, but maybe they are getting vibrating at their corresponding places. Due to their thermal agitation or thermal energy, they may get vibrated. But now, we want to transmit the current through this. I want to send the current. Current means what? Flow of charge from one place to another place. For doing that, what we need to do? We need to apply potential difference. Whenever and wherever you want to send a current through a conductor, whenever you want to send the current through a conductor, it's a need to apply potential difference across the conductor. So by that here, I am applying potential difference by means of connected a battery. Whenever it is a battery of potential difference V, then the difference between anode and cathode, the potential difference between anode and cathode is V. That is the meaning of that. That means if the potential is V here, here 0, then it is V, then it is V, it is V. Because it is a direct connection here. That is a direct connection. Okay, so short circuit it is. By that if the potential is V here, here also V, here also V, here V. And if the potential 0, here 0, here 0, here 0. Now you are saying that first end is at high potential, second end is at a low potential of 0. By that what happened? Electric field established. What was established here? Electric field established across this rod. What is electric field direction? Inside of this electric field established here in this direction. From high potential to low potential. Whenever electric field established inside the conductor, what happened? Over these free electrons, force will act. What will act here? Force will act on the free electrons. So by that, electrons are starting their motion and they are drifting through this rod in opposite direction of electrons. So electrons are drifting in this direction with velocity of Vd. With velocity of Vd called drift velocity. So it is the actual phenomena going on inside a current carrying conductor. So then it is also current carrying conductor actually it is. Same phenomena going on here. That means here electric field was it induced or not here? Yes, obviously. Okay, whenever field is varying here, current flowing in this. By that here electric field induced. What was induced here? Electric field induced in the conductor. As long as electric field established inside the conductor, then only current flow takes place or charge flow takes place. Okay. So by that, do remember whenever B is varying with respect to time, then there will be induction of electric field inside the conductor or even in the space also. Okay. So that is the meaning of this. So the conclusion what here? The conclusion here is varying magnetic field induces electric field inside the coil or in the space. So this is the conclusion here. Okay, after knowing that conclusion, now we would like to write electric field value at different points of a cylindrical magnetic field region. For example, if you take a solenoid, solenoid is nothing but a cylindrical wire. It is a wire wounded around a soft iron cylinder, or you may take simply coil also. Simple coil also called solenoid. Already studied well about it. Here, the B direction is along this axis inside. B value outside 0. Here also 0. The B is presented only along the axis. From lateral view, that means whenever you have seen that one from this side, that means whenever you have seen from this side, laterally, if the current whatever flowing through the solenoid is varying, either increasing or decreasing, what happened to B value? Also varying. Then laterally for this observer, the field is appear as a circular region. Okay. So the field is confined to circular region of this much of radius for this observer. So for that observer, the field is appearing like this. This field has confined to a cylindrical region, but laterally it appears as circular region of radius r, and here field is varying. It is a varying magnetic field. So laterally that field whatever inside the solenoid appears as like, because B direction is away from me, that is inward for the observer whoever is standing in front of the board, inward. Here also for this observer B is away from him, By that I have drawn out the diagram like this. So as long as this current is varying, this B also varying. When B is varying, what happens? Here electric field induced. I would like to get electric field intensity value at 3 points. One is outside on the solenoid surface and inside here. Totally 3 points I have chosen. How many points were chosen here? 3 points were chosen. That points are here. One is A, another one is B, another one is C. What is another one? C. So, normally the distance of these points represented with small r being distance of the point, corresponding point. From center. Okay, that is the meaning of R. Now we would like to get induced electric field value at A, B and C. At A, B and C. Okay. So first of all, you come to the part before going to deriving that induced electric field. I want to write down Faraday's second law here. What is the Faraday's second law? E equal to minus d phi b by dt. E equal to minus d phi by dt. What is E here? Already I told you. It is potential difference. That's equal to minus d phi b by dt. Pi b means magnetic flux. Okay. So the negative rate of change of magnetic flux is called induced EMF or potential difference. Induced EMF or potential difference. Okay. In the electrostatics, electric potential already studied well. Electric potential and electric field intensity relation what? dV equal to minus E bar dot dr bar. Okay, dV equal to minus E bar dot dr bar. Then how can we write potential difference value V equal to in the limits of 0 to A or A to B? We can write this as like. So the potential difference itself called dV. So by that dV value what here? Minus integral. It is normally called potential difference between 2 points, that is VB minus VA for example. That VB minus VA value, how much we got it? Minus integral E bar dot dr bar equal to minus d by dt of what is the flux formula? BA. Because for this loop, here also we need to apply a loop here, we need to form a loop. For that one, the area, for example, if you want to get the electric field intensity A, we need to form a closed loop here. That loop occupied some area, right? This is the loop. That area vector what here? Inward. Okay. And a field direction what here? Inward. Both are in the same direction. Then theta value what here? 0. By that, here BA cos 0, 1. Such that we obtained that. Anyhow, minus minus cancelled. Minus minus cancelled. And integral E bar dot dr bar. E bar direction what here? That we want to write first. See here, when a magnetic field is increasing, then electric field intensity direction we want to get. How to get it means? Simple. If you imagine a coil here inside of this, in the varying magnetic field, I have assumed a coil. Then inside the coil, what is the direction of induced current? That will be the direction of induced electric field. What is the induced current direction here? Anti-clockwise. So electric field direction here is a tangentially present. Here tangentially, here tangentially. So electric field direction will be in the direction of induced current. Do remember it well. Okay. So by that, electric field direction is that one. Now, actually E bar dot dr bar integral E bar dot dr bar equal to A into dV by dt. So this is the formula we are applying everywhere where we need to find electric field intensity due to varying magnetic field. Okay, do remember that formula. So for example, I am giving you one more diagram. In this one, outward field is decreasing. What about the electric field intensity at a point inside the field or outside the field? Wherever you take, even if you take the point outside, then you need to form a closed loop here. For that loop, the tangent giving you the electric field intensity direction. What about the electric field intensity direction? Already I told you. That is same as the direction of induced current. What about the induced current here? Outward be decreasing. So to oppose the decrement, there is induction of current in outward direction only, induction of field in outward direction. For having the field, induced field in outward direction, current should flow in anti-clockwise direction. So current flows in anti-clockwise direction here. By that, field direction is anti-clockwise. Here, the tangent of this loop giving you electric field intensity direction. Okay, like that we can know the direction of electric field intensity. Do remember it well. Okay. Now we are going to calculate the electric field intensity A, B, and C. At A, B, and C for a cylindrical magnetic field region, variable magnetic field region. Okay. So let's see that. Do remember it well. It's a very important point. See here, first at A, R is greater than R1. Capital R is the radius. Small r is the radius of the point. Which one is greater at A? Obviously, small r, greater than capital R, because point is outside. Then the radius of this loop is small r. Radius of the circular loop is smaller. Okay. Now, what about the induced electric field intensity? Actually, B is increasing, for example. When B increasing here, what about the electric field intensity direction? To oppose that outward field induced, that is anti-clockwise. So E bar is presented tangentially like this. And if you have taken small element of the loop of length dr bar, that's also in this direction. So dr bar and E bar both are in the same direction. Dr bar and E bar are in the same direction. By that, what we will get? Integral E bar dot dr bar equal to A into dV by dt. Integral E bar dot dr bar means E dr cos 0 equal to A means area of the field within the loop. Okay, area of the field within the loop. Up to what area field was established here? Pi r square into dV by dt. Okay, what about this value 1? E integral dr equal to pi r square dV by dt. What is integral dr? That is the length of the loop. Actually, for small length, for small element, length is dr. If you have integrated added all that elements, we are getting total loop length. What is the total loop length here? 2 pi r smaller. So we are getting it as E into 2 pi r equal to pi r square into dv by dt. Then what and what are cancel here? Pi cancel. E equal to what here? We are getting it as r square by 2r dB by dt. Okay. So this is the electric field intensity A. So outside that cylindrical magnetic field region, how the electric field related with the smaller? Inversely proportional. So with that point A over, you may write this dB by dt also as mod of dB by dt. No wrong data. You may write it as a dB by dt or mod of dB by dt. Your wish. Okay. So with that point A over, come to the point B. So at B, smaller and capital are equal, such that if you put smaller and capital are equal here, smaller value equal to capital, such that AB value what here? R cancels. So R by 2 into dB by dt. So B point over. Come to the point C. At C. C point inside the cylindrical volume or inside the circular region or inside the magnetic field. A is outside the field, B is exactly on the edge of the field, and C is inside the field. Okay. Now, if you form the closed loop here with radius r, what we are getting? Actually, small r is less than capital R now at point C. So EB over, directly we can write it. By putting smaller and capital R as equal in this, we return that. Come to the point C. Point C where it is inside. Okay. Then how to write that electric field intensity there means same formula we are going to apply, that is integral dr equal to A means area up to which field was established. So E into integral 2 pi r, integral dr means 2 pi r already know well. Always integral dr means length of the loop. Okay. And A means area of the field within the loop. Area of the field within the loop. Up to what area field established here? Up to this area only. Because the loop is this one only. Within that, the field area what here? Pi r square. So we are getting it as pi r square into mod of dB by dt, such that pi r cancel. E value r by 2 into dB by dt. It is the E value at C. That is electric field intensity at C. Okay. So with that electric field intensity value we derived here at 3 points. But inside that, you see how it related with the distance directly. At the center, of circular region of magnetic field, R value is 0. If R is 0, what about the E value? 0. Now I want to plot the graph for this case. What is the graph shape? See here. The shape of the graph we are getting like this. We are plotting the graph across intensity and radius, the distance of the point. What is the intensity at center? 0. As I am moving from center to edge of the field, How E related with R? Directly by that up to edge of the field, E value will increase linearly until small r becoming equal to capital R. Until small r becoming equal to capital R, E value increases linearly such that while it reaches to edge, the field value reaches to maximum. What is the field value at the edge here? R by 2 into dB by dt. That is the maximum value of magnetic field on the edge. On the edge. And outside the edge of the field, how the field related with the distance inversely such that the curve you are getting is a rectangular hyperbola. What we are getting? Rectangular hyperbola. It is actually EC directly proportional to R. It is actually EV value and EC inversely proportional to R. Sorry, it is inversely EA. Sorry, it is EA. It is EC, correct. So outside point is A, on the surface D, inside point C. So with that electric field intensity, okay, we derived here due to varying magnetic field. Okay. Next, relatedly, there are some problems. Those problems we will see in the next class. With this, I am going to close this session. Thank you very much.